Deep in the Congo's tangled rainforest, a devoted father chimpanzee named Kibo guards his playful baby, Miko, amid the troop's serene life. But horror strikes when a massive python ambushes the infant, coiling it in a deadly grip. Kibo spots the attack and unleashes pure madness, a frenzied rampage of fury. Brace for a shocking twist that redefines survival in the tangled heart of the Congo Basin, where ancient trees stretch toward the sky like silent guardians and the air hums with the symphony of hidden life. A primal drama is about to erupt that will test the limits of love, rage, and survival. Picture this, a devoted father chimpanzee, his fur scarred from past battles, watches over his tiny offspring with unyielding vigilance. But in the shadows of this lush paradise slithers a monster. A giant python, its body as thick as a man's arm and longer than a fallen log, eyes cold and calculating. This isn't just a tale of predator and prey. It's a heart-wrenching saga where paternal instinct ignites into sheer madness, leading to an ending so shocking it will leave you reeling. Join me as we venture into this wild encounter, inspired by the untamed forces of nature, where every moment could be the last. As the mist rises with the dawn, the forest awakens to the chatter of birds and the playful swings of chimpanzees through the vines. Our story centers on one such family, blissfully unaware of the coiled doom lurking below. The father, a powerful alpha with a gentle soul for his kin, has no idea that today his world will shatter when that colossal serpent strikes at his vulnerable baby. What follows is a frenzy of chaos, screams echoing through the canopy, branches snapping under furious leaps, and a battle that defies the odds. Yet the true shock comes not from the violence, but from a twist that flips the narrative on its head, reminding us that in the jungle, nothing is ever as it seems. If you crave stories that pulse with raw emotion and unexpected turns, you're in the right place. Hold your breath as we tease the horror, the baby chimp. Curious and innocent, wanders too far, only to feel the python's crushing embrace. The father's eyes lock on the scene, and in that instant sanity slips away. He goes utterly crazy, a whirlwind of teeth, claws, and unbridled power. But brace yourself for the finale, a revelation that will challenge your perceptions of heroism in the animal kingdom. This video promises thrills, chills, and a shocking conclusion, drawn from the depths of wildlife lore. Subscribe, like, and hit that bell to never miss these gripping tales from the wild. Now let's swing into the story proper. In the vibrant expanse of the rainforest, the chimpanzee troop thrives in a rhythm as old as time itself, a harmonious blend of play, foraging, and unbreakable bonds. Our father chimpanzee, whom we'll call Kibo for his unyielding spirit, leads with a quiet authority earned through years of defending his family from leopards and rival groups. His fur, a mix of deep black and silver streaks, tells tales of survival, while his piercing eyes scan the horizon for any sign of trouble. But today, like most days, begins with serenity. The troop awakens to the golden rays piercing the canopy, stretching and grooming one another in a ritual that strengthens their social ties. Laughter like hoots fill the air as youngsters chase each other up towering trunks, their tiny hands grasping vines with effortless grace. At the center of it all is Kibo's baby, a fluffy bundle of curiosity named Miko, barely a year old and already showing the spark of adventure that defines his species. Miko clings to his father's back during long treks, peeking out with wide, wondering eyes at the world below. Kibo carries him gently, occasionally pausing to share a ripe fig or teach him how to crack nuts with stones, a skill passed down through generations. The troop's females, wise and nurturing, gather around, cooing and playing with Miko, ensuring he's never alone. They forage together, plucking leaves and fruits from the abundant undergrowth, while the males patrol the perimeter, their deep pant hoots echoing warnings to potential intruders. Life here is a delicate balance, where cooperation means survival, and every member plays a role in the troop's success. As the sun climbs higher, the group settles in a clearing dotted with termite mounds. Kibo watches proudly as Miko attempts his first solo climb, tumbling harmlessly into soft ferns below. The father scoops him up with a reassuring grunt, nuzzling his head in a display of pure affection. Nearby, other chimps engage in mock wrestles, building strength and alliances. The air is alive with the scent of blooming flowers and the distant roar of a waterfall, creating a paradise where threats seem distant memories. Yet in this idyllic scene, Kibo's instincts remain sharp. He's raised Miko through droughts and storms, knowing the jungle's beauty hides perils. For now, though, joy reigns supreme. Miko's giggles blend with the birdsong, a testament to the profound family ties that bind them. Little do they know, this peace is fragile, a prelude to a nightmare that will test Kibo's love to its breaking point. The troop's daily routines foster deep emotional connections, with Kibo often sharing quiet moments with Miko, teaching him the ways of the wild. As evening approaches, they huddle together in nests high above, safe from ground predators, dreaming under a starlit sky. This is the essence of chimpanzee life, resilient, communal, and fiercely protective. As the afternoon sun casts long shadows across the forest floor, subtle shifts in the jungle's symphony hint at an unseen menace drawing near. The birds, usually a chorus of vibrant calls, fall eerily silent, their absence creating a void that prickles the skin. Kibo pauses mid-groom, his head tilting as he senses the change, a stillness too profound for comfort. Leaves rustle not from wind, but from something heavier, slithering through the underbrush with calculated stealth. The air grows thick with an unfamiliar musk, a scent that triggers ancient alarms in the chimp's minds, though they can't yet pinpoint its source. Miko, oblivious to the tension, plays near a cluster of ferns, batting at butterflies that dance just out of reach. But even he freezes momentarily when a distant branch snaps, echoing like a warning shot. The other troop members exchange uneasy glances, their grooming sessions interrupted by low grunts of concern. Kibo stands taller, his muscles tensing as he scans the greenery, spotting unusual patterns. Vines slightly displaced, soil disturbed in a serpentine trail. The jungle, alive with secrets, whispers of danger through these omens, a flock of monkeys fleeing overhead, their alarm calls piercing the quiet. Deeper in the shadows, the giant python coils around a low branch, its scales camouflaged perfectly against the mottled bark. It has been tracking the troop for hours, drawn by the scent of vulnerability. The air vibrates with its slow, rhythmic breaths, patient as death itself. Kibo feels the weight of impending doom, but dismisses it momentarily, attributing it to fatigue. Yet the signs multiply. A sudden chill despite the humidity, the ground vibrating faintly underfoot. The troop huddles closer, instincts urging caution, but curiosity pulls Miko further afield. In this moment of fragile calm, the stage is set for catastrophe, the python's presence an invisible noose tightening around their world. With the stealth of a shadow at dusk, the giant python emerges from its concealment, its massive body uncoiling like a living rope of muscle and malice. Measuring over 15 feet long, with a girth that could engulf a small deer, this apex predator has honed its skills in the art of ambush, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Its scales, a mosaic of browns and greens, blend seamlessly with the forest floor, rendering it nearly invisible until it's too late. The python's eyes, slits of cold amber, fixate on Miko, who has wandered just beyond the safety of the troop. Enticed by a cluster of shiny berries dangling from a low bush, in a blur of motion too swift for its size, the serpent lunges forward, its jaws unhinging with a faint hiss that cuts through the air like a whisper of doom. Miko lets out a startled squeak as the python's coils wrap around his tiny frame, the pressure immediate and unrelenting. The baby chimp thrashes wildly, his small fists pounding against the unyielding scales. But the python's grip tightens with each exhale, designed by nature to suffocate prey without mercy. The forest seems to hold its breath as the attack unfolds, leaves crunching under the writhing mass. and Miko's cries escalate into desperate shrieks that pierce the canopy. The troop erupts in chaos at the sound, females screeching in alarm, males pounding their chests in instinctive displays of threat. But the python remains focused, its body a vice of death, slowly constricting to crush the life from its victim. Miko's eyes bulge with terror, his struggles weakening as oxygen fades, the world blurring into a haze of pain and fear. The serpent's tongue flicks out, tasting victory in the air, its ancient instincts driving it to secure the meal that will sustain it for weeks. Kibo, foraging nearby, hasn't yet seen the horror, but Miko's wails send a jolt through him like lightning. The ambush is flawless, a testament to the python's evolutionary prowess, turning a playful afternoon into a nightmare. As the coils squeeze tighter, time slows. Miko's limbs go limp, his cries fading to whimpers. The jungle watches in silent judgment, where survival favors the cunning. But this is only the beginning. The father's arrival will transform this predation into an epic clash of wills. In a heartbeat that shatters the fragile veil of normalcy, Gibo crests a small rise and locks eyes on the scene of unimaginable horror, his beloved Miko ensnared in the python's deadly embrace, the serpent's coils pulsing with lethal intent. Time freezes for the father chimpanzee. His world narrows to that single gut-wrenching image. A primal roar erupts from deep within his chest, a sound raw and thunderous, echoing through the trees like a battle cry from the depths of hell. Kibo's face contorts in agony and fury, eyes widening to whites, lips peeling back to reveal bared fangs, veins bulging under his fur as adrenaline surges like a tidal wave. He doesn't hesitate. Sanity fractures as paternal instinct overrides all reason. With the explosive leap, Kibo charges forward, branches snapping under his powerful strides, the ground trembling from his fury. "No!" his mind screams in silent desperation, though his vocalizations are a cacophony of hoots and screams that rally the troop. The madness takes hold. He goes utterly crazy, a whirlwind of unbridled rage, tearing at vines and hurling stones in a frenzied prelude to combat. His heart pounds like a war drum, every fiber of his being focused on saving his offspring from the jaws of death. As he closes in, Kibo's attacks begin. He grabs a nearby branch, swinging it like a club against the python's exposed head, the impact resounding with a sickening thud. The serpent hisses in response, momentarily loosening its grip to defend itself, but Miko remains trapped, gasping for air. Kibo's madness intensifies. He bites savagely at the scales, his teeth scraping against the armored hide, drawing beads of blood that only fuel his frenzy. He pounds his fists relentlessly, muscles straining, fur matted with sweat and dirt. Flashes of memories assault him. Miko's first steps, their shared grooming sessions, the warmth of his tiny body curled against him at night. This fuels the insanity, turning Kibo into a force of nature. Oblivious to his own safety, the troop joins the fray, emboldened by their leader's ferocity. Females screech encouragement. Males flank the python, poking and prodding to distract it. But Kibo is the epicenter of the storm. His actions erratic yet purposeful, he wedges his body between the coils, prying with sheer strength, his grunts turning to guttural bellows. Pain shoots through him as the python strikes back, fangs grazing his arm. But he feels nothing but the burning need to free Miko. In this descent into madness, Kibo embodies the ultimate parental sacrifice, his rational mind eclipsed by a protective rage that knows no bounds. The battle rages on, each second an eternity, as the father's crazy determination clashes against the python's cold resolve. The confrontation explodes into a maelstrom of violence, the forest transforming into an arena where life and death dance in brutal harmony. Kibo, fueled by his unhinged fury, latches onto the python's tail, yanking with all his might to uncoil the beast from Miko. The serpent rears its head, striking with lightning speed. But Kibo dodges, countering with a ferocious swipe of his claws that rakes across the python's eye, eliciting a hiss of pain. Blood trickles from the wound, mixing with the damp earth. As the father chimp circles his foe, panting heavily, his chest heaving like bellows in a forge, allies from the troop swarm in. Adding to the chaos, two burly males grab branches, jabbing at the python's midsection to force it to release its prey. The serpent thrashes wildly, its massive body whipping through the undergrowth, uprooting plants and sending debris flying. Miko, still ensnared but with a sliver of loosened grip, manages a weak cry that reignites Kibo's assault. He leaps onto the python's back, pounding with closed fists in rhythmic fury, each blow aimed at the vulnerable spots where scales meet flesh. The air fills with the sounds of struggle. Grunts, hisses, snaps as the battle intensifies, the python constricting defensively while trying to slither away. Obstacles mount. The dense foliage tangles Kibo's movements, vines snagging his limbs mid-strike, and the python uses its environment cleverly, wrapping around a tree trunk for leverage. But Kibo's madness knows no retreat. He bites down hard on the serpent's body, shaking his head like a dog with a bone, tearing a gash that exposes raw muscle. The python retaliates, coiling a loop around Kibo's leg, squeezing with bone-crushing force. Pain explodes through him, but he roars defiance, prying free with the help of a troopmate who gnaws at the coil. Miko slips slightly from the grasp, gasping for breath, his tiny form battered but alive. The climax builds as Kibo grabs a sharp rock, improvised weapon in hand, and smashes it repeatedly against the python's head. Cracks echo like thunder, the serpent's movements slowing, its strikes becoming sluggish. The troop presses the advantage, surrounding the beast in a circle of fury, their combined efforts turning the tide. Kibo's eyes, wild with exhaustion and triumph, lock on Miko as he finally wriggles free, collapsing into the leaves. The python, wounded and overwhelmed, begins to retreat, slithering into the shadows, but not without one last defiant lash that sends Kibo tumbling. Victorious yet drained, the father crawls to his baby, the fierce confrontation etching scars on body and soul, a testament to the wild's unforgiving trials. As the dust settles and the troop gathers around the battered Miko, a hush falls over the scene, broken only by labored breaths and soft whimpers. Kibo cradles his baby, nuzzling him gently, relief washing over him like a cool rain. But then, the shocking twist unfolds. Miko, stirring weakly, reveals not just bruises from the coils, but a hidden truth. The python wasn't merely hunting, it was defending its own nest, concealed nearby under a pile of leaves. Eggs, fragile and speckled, lie exposed now, one cracked from the chaos of the battle. In a moment that flips the narrative, Kibo pauses, his madness ebbing as curiosity takes hold. The python, slithering back into view but not attacking, watches. From afar, its injured form coiled protectively around the remaining eggs. What seemed like mindless predation was a mirror of Kibo's own instinct, parental defense. The father chimp, in a rare display of empathy, backs away, signaling the troop to retreat. Miko, safe but forever changed, clings tighter, the encounter revealing the jungle's interconnected web of survival. This revelation stuns. The crazy rampage saved one life but endangered others, blurring lines between hero and intruder. Nature's shocking ending isn't triumph, but a poignant reminder that every creature fights for its young, turning enemies into reluctant reflections of each other. In the aftermath of this harrowing ordeal, the rainforest resumes its eternal hum, but the lessons linger like echoes in the canopy. This tale of a father chimpanzee's descent into madness underscores the profound depths of parental love, a force that transcends species and ignites the wildest instincts. Yet the shocking twist reveals nature's complexity. What we perceive as villainy is often just survival, a delicate balance where every action ripples through the ecosystem. Kibo and Miko's bond strengthens, a scar of wisdom etched into their lives, reminding us that the jungle is a mirror to our own primal drives. Reflecting on this, we see parallels in the human world: fierce protection, unexpected empathy, and the blurred lines of conflict. Stories like these highlight the urgency of conservation. As habitats shrink, such clashes intensify, threatening the delicate harmony. Let's honor these wild narratives by supporting wildlife preserves and educating others about the intricate web of life. If this gripping saga left you breathless, smash that like button, subscribe for more shocking wildlife tales, and share your thoughts in the comments. What would you do in Kibo's place? Hit the notification bell to catch the next adventure from the heart of the wild. Until then, remember, in nature's theater, the endings are always unpredictable. Thanks for watching.